Ethan and Jaden were just 17, not spoiled, not show-offs, just two regular-looking teens in hoodies and sneakers. They grew up in a world most could only dream of. Their father was a self-made billionaire, but he raised them to value humility above all else. No private jets to school, no diamond chains or flashy designer gear, just bikes, books, and lessons about earning respect, not buying it. They both had a deep passion for cars, especially classic and luxury models. While other kids obsessed over video games, Ethan could name engine specs like poetry. Jaden followed Rolls-Royce unveilings like they were Oscar shows. Their dream? To own one of those cars someday, but earn it through their own hard work. One weekend, their father had some business in the city, and he gave them a simple challenge. Go out, learn something new today, surprise me. With that, the boys found themselves standing outside one of the most elite car dealerships in the state. No appointment, no driver. Just two teens and a dream. What they didn't know was that their appearance, simple, clean, and humble, would trigger the arrogance of those behind the showroom glass. And that one visit would change everything. The dealership was a palace of polished chrome and quiet luxury. Floor-to-ceiling windows gleamed, and inside Rolls-Royce Phantoms sat like thrones on display. Ethan and Jaden stepped in, holding the door for one another, eyes wide with admiration. They didn't run or gawk. They walked slowly, respectfully, like true enthusiasts. A sleek black wraith caught Ethan's eye. He leaned in slightly to admire the details, pointing out the custom rims to Jaden. Just as they began discussing the craftsmanship, a salesman across the room narrowed his eyes. With a practiced smile that didn't reach his eyes, he walked over. "Can I help you boys with something?" His tone wasn't warm. It was suspicious. "Yes, sir," Jaden said politely. "We're interested in learning about some of the models." The man chuckled, looked them over, then called over his shoulder. "Hey, Mike, we've got some car fans here. Might want to lock the display cases." Another employee laughed from the desk. "You guys looking for the toy store? That's 2 blocks down." Still trying to stay respectful, Ethan replied, "We're serious." We love these cars. But their words didn't matter. The staff had already decided. They didn't belong, and the manager was about to prove it. The manager, a tall man in a tailored suit, walked over with a clipboard in hand and a condescending grin. He didn't introduce himself, didn't ask questions, just gave them a once-over and sighed. "Listen, fellas," he said, "these cars aren't for browsing. They're investments. Not something you just come in to gawk at after school." Ethan tried to speak up. "We were just hoping to learn more about the manager cut him off. "Learn? This isn't a field trip. Do yourselves a favor. Check out the used lot down the road. Might be more your speed." Jaden felt his face flush. The words stung, not because they were loud, but because they were said with such certainty. The certainty that 2 boys in hoodies couldn't possibly be serious. Another salesman nearby smirked and muttered, "Probably just here for TikTok views." With their heads low, the brothers turned and walked out. No shouting, no protest. Just quiet steps on cold tiles. As they stepped into the parking lot, Ethan pulled out his phone and recorded a short video. Not for clout, but for their father. He needed to see this. And when they got home and played it back for him, he didn't get angry. He simply nodded. The sun had barely risen when the dealership's staff began trickling in, coffee in hand, ready for another day of smooth talking and luxury sales. The showroom sparkled. The same manager from the day before straightened his tie, still smug from yesterday's handling of the teenage time wasters. But at exactly 9:02 a.m., the quiet hum of luxury engines shattered the calm. 2 Rolls-Royce Phantoms, one midnight black, the other pearl white, pulled up right in front of the dealership. Not one, but 2 drivers stepped out and opened the doors with precision. From the back of the black Phantom emerged a tall, commanding man in a custom Navy suit, Ethan and Jaden's father. He didn't storm in, he strolled. The same manager spotted him, now nervous but clueless. "Welcome, sir. Do you have an appointment?" The man didn't flinch. "No," he said calmly, "but your team had one yesterday, with my sons." Recognition flickered in the manager's eyes, followed quickly by panic. I believe they were told they didn't belong, that they couldn't afford to dream in this place. He looked around the showroom. I came today to return the message, but this time I brought receipts. They're parked right outside. Silence swallowed the showroom. Staff stood frozen, eyes darting between the man and the gleaming Rolls-Royces outside. The father stepped forward, his voice calm but razor-sharp. I'm not here to yell or make a scene, he began. I built my life from the ground up. I flipped burgers, mopped floors. No one handed me wealth, I earned it. And I taught my sons to never judge a person by the clothes on their back, but by the content of their heart. He paused, letting his words settle like thunder in a storm. Yesterday, two respectful young men walked into this showroom. They didn't deserve to be laughed at. They didn't deserve to be dismissed like garbage. Those boys, they're mine. Gasps rippled through the staff. And those two phantoms outside, he continued, pointing through the glass, they're theirs now. Not because they were humiliated, but because they handled your insults with more grace than most adults would. He turned to the stunned manager. Let this be your reminder. Every person who walks through your door deserves respect, because someday the kid you laugh at might just buy the building you work in. Then he smiled, nodded toward the entrance and said, Bring my boys in.